Hi, I'm Mark. Welcome back to Foothill Paint Fabrication. Today we have a really quick review of the door latches for a 64 to 67 Pontiac. I picked these up from the Parts Place, so let's jump in close, compare to the factory ones, compare to the ones I got from OPGI, and then we'll get one installed and test it out. All right, I've got the passenger latch out of the box, and I did pick these up from the Parts Place, but if you guys look right there, you can see the OER sticker underneath. So these are OER parts that Parts Place is selling. So you could buy it from them or the Parts Place. They're about 64 bucks a latch, which isn't too bad. But if we line these up right here, you can see everything looks identical. The windows all look the same. The stamp looks the same. Of course, the mounting holes look good. The door lock mechanisms look like they land pretty much in the same spot, maybe slightly different, but that's no problem. That's easily adjusted. And then if we rotate it over and we look at the striker pocket here, that looks really good. In fact, the striker plate or catch right here, latch, looks a little bit thicker than the factory. The pocket looks the same dimensions. Everything else looks really good. And we lay them over this way. Once again, everything looks like it's spot on. Now, the ones I picked up from OPGI, they said they were listed for the 67 Pontiac. You can tell they're different. They have, this is the Chevelle style. Everything else is identical, but this is the Chevelle style for the push button. And the problem is on that, if you saw my review on that, the push button hits way up here and it gets caught in this little ledge right here, and then sometimes the button won't pop out. They will latch, they will open and close, but they're really not right because it doesn't work right all the time. So that's why these are out, and I went ahead and bought these from the Parts Place. So let's go ahead and get this one installed on the car, and we'll test it out, see how it works. All right, we got the latch installed, super easy, no issues there. These latches do not come with new screws, so you'll have to buy those separately if you need them. Let's go ahead and test this thing out. That's the first catch. And that's the latch right there, so it looks like it's latching right up inside there. It looks good. Now, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a little nylon bumper in there just like on the factory. So it feels pretty solid, not a whole lot of play, as good or better than the factory one. Let's see how it releases. Looks like it works pretty good. All right, pretty happy with that. Let's go ahead and shut the door and see how it works. All right, let's test it out. Feels pretty solid. Feels like I'm having to push the button in a little bit farther than I should. Let's see if we can't bend that tab that this pushes up against and see if it gets a little better. All right, I went ahead and pulled it out to make it easier to see. So you can see right where the push button was hitting on the old factory one, and it's hitting almost identical on the new one. So that's looking good. I think all we need to do is bend this tab so this is a little bit farther forward. So just hold on to it here and bend it right there. I'll knock that out real quick. We'll get it reinstalled and test it out again. All right, let's try this out again. Still latches really good. Opens right up. It feels a little bit better because the button is hitting the latch a little bit earlier. It does take quite a bit of button push though to get this to open. But you know, I guess stronger springs are better than weak springs, and of course everything's not super lubed up and broke in, so I think it'll probably get easier as time goes on, but it's definitely harder to open than the other latch I had in here. But seems to work pretty good. All right, that wraps up this review of the 1964 to 67 Pontiac door latches. As far as I can tell, they look like almost identical to the factory units, so I'm really happy to get these. Now, I will put a link in the description to the Parts Place, or you can buy them directly from OER as well, I imagine, but they seem like they're going to do the trick. Thanks for joining me here at Foothill Paint Fabrication. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Mash that bell and drop me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. We'll see you on the next one.